The SCP Foundation is a fictional organization and has the responsibility of locating and containing individuals, entities, and objects that violate natural law. The Foundation has become infamous with it housing a significant amount of subjects that defy natural law and all that we know about the world. So as you would expect, there are many theories about the organization and its subjects. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, we're going to be counting down the top 5 scary SCP theories. Before we begin, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. Let's jump in. In at 5, SCP-500. To begin, SCP-500 is a small plastic can which contains 47 red pills. One pill, when taken orally, effectively cures the subject of all diseases within 2 hours. Now, a theory post on the SCP Wiki by Zarathustra states, SCP-500 doesn't exist. Cured cases were either treated with specialty cures, or they're lying about ever being sick, or were eliminated. SCP-500 is merely a plant for research staff to think they'll be safe from dangerous diseases. They contract if their research is useful and irreplaceable enough. It's a short theory, but definitely interesting. What do you guys think? Is SCP-500 real, or just a creation by the Foundation? In at 4, SCP-096. To begin, 096 is a humanoid creature. Shows very little muscle mass with preliminary analysis of body mass suggesting mild malnutrition. Arms are grossly out of proportion with the rest of the subject's body, with an approximate length of 1.5 meters each. Skin is mostly devoid of pigmentation with no sign of any body hair. It is also described as normally docile with pressure sensors inside its cell indicating it spends most of the day pacing by the eastern wall. However, when someone views 096's face, whether it be directly or via a video recording, it will enter a stage of considerable emotional distress, covering its face with its hands and begin screaming, crying, and babbling incoherently. Now, a theory posted to Undertow Games by Crowbar attempts to explain why 096 cries. They state one of its most defining characteristics when docile is its crying. What is he crying over? They go on to suggest, I quote, "The reason 096 cries is because of us." That's sad. Now, there's no reasonable explanation for this, and many have questioned what would happen if 096 looked in a mirror and saw its own reflection, stating he would likely try and kill the mirror and he has no intelligence. But if he does realize that he's viewing his own face and destroyed a mirror instead of himself, he might be distracted. What are your theories about 096? Leave them below. In at 3, SCP-1422. To begin, let's examine 1422. 1422 is an anomalous phenomenon that, prior to July 9, 2007, prevented all Foundation personnel from learning the existence of Yellowstone National Park. So, a theory posted to SCP Wiki by Western attempts to connect 1422 with SCP-2000. I quote, "The entrance to SCP-2000 is disguised as a disused park ranger station in Yellowstone National Park, and I am incredibly sure 2000 was made before July 2007, which is when 1422 revealed itself." So here's the theory. SCP-1422 is an unexpected side effect of an SCP-2000 activation. Everybody forms something in 2000 begins to replicate humans at a rapid pace. However, when 2000 was created, they missed a tiny glitch in the human machinery. When the machine activated, it caused a high-power temporal anomaly that covered the entire solar system. From a long time ago to 2007, SCP-2000 has been making humans, but the temporal anomaly made it seem like it was still populated. It would continuously obtain copies of an individual from a random reality and displace them rapidly into the universe, like frames in a flip note. Because of this, the temporal anomaly from 2000 creating humans from that broken time period is in a separate dimension to Foundation personnel, because of their high state of existence, the anomalous. Honestly, these theories are hurting my brain, but I love it. Coming in at number 2, SCP-049. Before we even get into this theory, we should first discuss 049 for those of you who aren't familiar. 049 is a humanoid entity which bears the appearance of a medieval plague doctor. It appears to be wearing thick robes and the ceramic mask indicative of that profession. However, the garments seem to have grown out of 049's body over time and are now nearly indistinguishable from whatever form is beneath them. It is capable of speech in a variety of languages and is generally cordial and cooperative with the Foundation staff. However, it can become irritated or at times outright aggressive if it feels that it is in the presence of what it calls the pestilence. Although the exact nature of this pestilence is currently unknown to the Foundation researchers, it does seem to be an issue of immense concern to 049. Now, this theory posted to Reddit by Obviously Steve states, "The pestilence is death, just straight up death. He thinks everyone's infected because obviously everyone's dying, and the millions of people he's seen die from it are just people who died from old age. This is also why he considers his horrible resurrections a cure. He beats death. Perhaps these entities are immortal, but the Foundation wouldn't know since they kill them on sight. Also, perhaps the reason he decided Dr. Ham had the pestilence and had to be cured was because he saw signs of him aging, grey hair, wrinkles, and he just went into cure mode." And lastly, in at number Number 1. A unified theory of anomalies. Posted on the SCP Foundation wiki by D07436, they say, I was just thinking if it is possible that all of the anomalies /SCP weird stuff that happens in universe could be explained by some theory, or some sort of theoretical model. They go on to say that, I quote, the physical universe that the SCP Foundation exists in could be a sub-universe of a larger construct, and alongside this universe could be the parallel universes, and some of the pocket dimensions could be simply little pockets of parallel universes. And enclosing all these parallel universes / dimensions is a multitude of realities, and one must obey the laws and meta rules applied from the ones above it. And above all these, in universes in which the SCP stories exist, is our universe, which horror writers are the gods that decided the rules and breaking of rules of, the entire SCP story universe. An example of this is that we could argue that many of the sentient objects are actually sentient beings outside of the universe, but only have access / control over certain things within the current physical universe. I quote, like how 173 is an extra universal sentient being that monitors the universe at a meta level and dislikes not being observed, or 682 is an extra universal / meta being that simply cannot be destroyed. It's a convoluted theory and confusing for those unfamiliar with the Foundation and its inner workings, that's for sure, but it's an interesting theory nonetheless, and I suggest you guys read the full post, it will be linked below. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Do you have any other SCP theories that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. Before I go there, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos, top 5 scariest teen horror movies. Hans Harmon said, Lucy McPhee is my LGBTQ heroine. Smart, sarcastic and sexy. You're awesome. Wow, what a title. Bless up. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Brandon Campbell said, if death wants you, he will get you. Spitting the hard truth here. Dustin Heath said, Lucy, yours and everyone else's obvious passion for compiling these videos definitely shows in your presentation of the material. It's your actual dedication to the subject matter that makes these videos much more enjoyable. Hope to see you all around for quite some time. Thank you. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite comments. Jack and I, as you'll know, have a huge passion for all things scary, particularly when it comes to movies. I'm glad you're all seeing that and appreciating it. Thank you very much. Jimmy Key said, Lucy would definitely be a final girl in a horror movie scenario. Oh, that's sweet, but I would probably be the villain, let's be real. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later.